Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing just superb out there. Let's talk about how to cover press conferences, press meetings, press briefings, and stuff like that in journalism. When you talk about covering speeches, conferences, and meetings, there are several challenges journalists actually face. Uh, because as a reporter, usually you do not have control over where and when they take place or the subjects under discussion, how they are going to behave in a meeting. While when you are conducting interview, you exactly know what your subjects are going to say because you have your questions and you can control that interview. At speeches and meetings, speakers themselves actually decide what they're going to say. And the journalist has to listen to what is being said and select which part to make notes on before writing the news story. Some essential things are the ability to recognize the most newsworthy aspect of a story and to select key points from a mass of information because mostly press conferences are not very brief. Usually they take like 20, 30, 40 minutes, sometimes an hour. So there is a lot of information. So what you have to do, you have to select key points out of that mass of information. So good shorthand or a fast writing speed to take down that information is important. But usually nowadays, reporters actually do not use shorthand because you have recording devices. You can record that conference or the meeting, and then you can use that information later on for your story writing. A confident approach to new people and new situation is very important when you are covering such events, and ability to compress many thousands of words into clear, concise, and accurate news stories. Because a person is speaking for like 20, 30 minutes, and you have to write a story of like 400 or 500 words probably. So what you have to do, you have to compress a lot of information into a very concise, accurate, and clear story. So what are meetings? First, we have to understand. Meeting, conferences, and speeches. A meeting is a gathering of several people with a specific purpose, usually in a planned, organized way with a formal or semi-formal structure. And they range from small subcommittees to international conventions, and all are a possible source of stories for a good journalist. So meeting could be of um, um, some some people from the cement industry, it could be from textile industry, it could be from police. So meetings could come from business communities as well as and from the government organizations as well. So these can be local, provincial, regional, national, or international, as the decision they reach will probably affect ordinary people, and they are usually of public interest. So most companies like to run their businesses meeting behind closed door, away from the eyes of the media and their own competitors. So mostly you are not allowed to go into company meetings. However, public companies are usually forced by law to hold certain meetings in public, especially their annual general meetings. Special interest groups. These can include such bodies as Chamber of Commerce, Parents and Teacher Association, the Friends of the Earth, trade unions, and women groups, etc., etc. These are special interest groups. Sports clubs and associations, they are usually good source of news. Political parties conduct meetings. Most of the electoral parties meetings are held in private and are attended only by the party members, but there are some meetings that are open for press. However, because they often make important political decisions for people in power, they are a valuable source of news. So in many countries, political parties hold local meetings to select candidates for election and hold annual meeting to select leaders as well. These national meetings are called conventions or annual conferences and are a special kind of meetings. Educational, cultural, social, or religious groups. Some meetings are simply organized to inform or to educate people. They make no decision which directly affect people's life, but opinions expressed can, from the basis of a news story or a future. Let's say, example, sermon in a public place of a worship can be newsworthy. In some countries, sermon are the only forum for political opposition or dissenting voices. So how you need to prepare? You can save yourself a lot of time and effort if you prepare the groundwork before you go to some meeting. You must make sure that you are the correct date. You are having the correct date. You are having the correct time and venue of the speech as well. It should not take long to make a quick telephone check with the organization or the organizer to ensure that it is still going ahead as a plan, because sometimes due to certain reasons meetings are cancelled or they're called off or they're postponed. So you need to check before you reach at your venue. Also find out what kind of speech or meeting it is. Is it a regular or an extraordinary meeting? So it depends. Will there be any guest speakers who might be interesting? Preparation, what you need to do, uh, what special issues might be raised, who might object. If it will not be open to the press, arrange in advance for somebody who will be there to see you immediately. This is where a journalist who has good contact scores over one who has not. So because previously we talked about context on arrival, what you have to do, try to arrive at meeting a few minutes early. This will actually help you in a great deal to introduce yourself to the organizers or the participants of the meeting. If necessary, share your business cards with them. Get a list of names and copies of the prepared speeches if you can get one. Arrange to meet people afterward the comment, because once meeting is finished, because everybody is running. Settle in your place before the meeting starts. Check your equipment, that is very much important. Before the conference or the meeting, you need to check your batteries, your cameras, your mics, etc. A test run is probably important. If you get there a few minutes before the start, you can see people arriving. This is especially important at a big event when you will find it difficult to spot people in a crowd once they have arrived. So you should reach there before they arrive, that you can recognize everyone who's participating in the meeting. So it also allows you a few minutes to introduce yourself to the participants and make arrangements for the interviews after event. If you are a reporter for radio or television, you should always arrive well in advance of the start to give you time to set up your cameras and microphones and to test your lights and sound levels. So this is very important, because if you reach just the meeting starts, probably you won't have time to recheck your cameras and batteries and microphones. Speakers get very annoyed when reporters try to attach a microphone to a stand or a table during the speech. So make sure you reach before the speech. Some organizers may stop you doing it. That means you are going to miss that event. Where to sit or stand, this is very important, because in meetings you have to ask questions. So it is important that you find a position where you can see and hear everything that is going on, and even participants can notice you. So you will find an area set aside for the media. If this seems suitable, use it. Otherwise, find a suitable place. You may find the organizer to have left the program, leaflets, copies of the speech, or other press material there for you. However, the media area is unsuitable. Do not hesitate to move to somewhere better place. And at the end of the meeting, what you have to do, although many meetings seem to drag on and on for hours, you must not be actually sleeping in the meeting. Such meetings often end suddenly, and both speakers and audience rush to get away. So at this point, you may have to chase after people such as the organizers or the main speakers to get essential detail or to clear up a point not fully understood during the meeting. So you need to remain very vigilant. If you have to talk to more than one person in this way, keep your interviews short, that you do not miss your other interviews. File your story straight to the newsroom right after the coverage. WhatsApp press material to your newsroom immediately, or send them through your email, whatever platform you guys are using. This was actually conferences, but the single important thing is, when you are in a press briefing or in a press conference, there are a lot of um, journalists over there, and they ask a lot of questions. So if you have some point that needs to be clarification, you should ask it immediately to the organizers or those who are conducting that interview. I'm going to show you a press conference here. If you need to look into that press conference, and you need to look at the behavior of the speakers as well, and how questions are being asked.
पाकिस्तान के मुख्तलिफ सूबों और इलाकों में وہ یہ ہے کہ آزاد جموں اور کشمیر میں یہ تعداد بڑھ کے 6 ہو گئی ہے، بلوچستان میں 144، گلگت بلتستان میں 128، اسلام آباد میں ہم دیکھیں گے کہ آنے والے دن میں کہ 1 بلوچستان میں، 2 گلگت بلتستان میں، 5 کے پی میں، 6 پنجاب میں اور 7 سندھ میں۔ پچھلے 24 گھنٹے کے اندر 5 نئی ڈیتھس کی رپورٹ ہمیں موصول ہوئی ہے۔ ناظرین، میں پاکستان کے مختلف علاقوں میں ابھی اگر ہمارے پاس شہروں کے اندر اور 21 کا میں نے آپ کو بتا چکا ہوں پہلے کہ
جا چکا ہے، تھوڑی سے اکوپمنٹ کی پرابلم ہے۔ جو میں آپ کو یہ بھی بتاؤں کہ گورنمنٹ آف سندھ کو آج پرسنل پروٹیکٹیو اکوپمنٹ کی سیٹس جو ہیں اس کو لے کے آئے گی۔ انشاءاللہ کل ہی ایک اور فلائٹ جو کہ چانگڈو جائے گی اور جو بیجنگ سے فلائٹ آ رہی
نہیں ہوا کہ 1 تاریخ سے ریلوے جو ہے وہ اپنا سکیجول جو ہے اس کو دوبارہ سے شروع کرے گی لیں گی۔ جیسے جیسے ہم اس سے پیسنجرز آئیں گے، اپنے ہمارا پروٹوکول جو ہے مضبوط ہوتا جائے گا، پھر آہستہ آہستہ اس کو دیکھ کے آگے کا فیصلہ کیا جائے گا۔ لیکن ایسی خبر کہ تمام ایئرپورٹس پر 4 تاریخ کی سسپینشن جب ختم ہوگی اس کے بعد نارمل پروازوں کی روٹین کے جو ہیں وہ نیگیٹو آئے ہیں، اور اس کے
جو کووڈ ریلیف ٹائگرز سے اپنی سکل کے حوالے وہ اپنا کام کر سکیں گے، تو اس پوری چیز کو ٹیکنیشینز کے پاس کو بتانا چاہتا ہوں پاکستان میں ہے، اس کی پریونشن کے حوالے سے یا اس کے ٹریٹمنٹ کے حوالے سے یا اس سے پیدا ہونے والے ان اثرات کو پہ، تو آپ لوگ ایکٹ پہ انہوں نے یہ پروپوزلز مانگی ہیں، کچھ دن پہلے انہوں نے یہ اشتہار دیا تھا، اس کے پیچھے بہت بے شمار پروپوزل سبمٹ کیے ہیں، 1.5 کروڑ اقدامات ہیں یا جو ان کے پاس ڈیولپ کریں، اور اگر وہ مؤثر ثابت ہو تو پھر ہم اس کو قومی سطح پہ اپنا لیں۔ یہ جو دیگر معلومات جو ہیں اس پروگرام کے بارے میں وہ آپ کو وہ ذرا مزید انوویٹو ہے آنے والے دنوں کے اندر، جس کو ہم نیشنل انکیوبیشن سینٹر کے تعاون کے ساتھ آپ کے سامنے رکھیں گے، اور یہ فردر آپ کو چھوٹی گرانٹس اور زیادہ ایک ایسا طریقہ کار جسے ہیکاتھون کہتے ہیں اس کو ہم استعمال کرتے ہوئے پاکستان سے باہر رہنے گورنمنٹ نے ابھی تک اقدامات کیے ہیں جو ہدایت.
Okay, fine. Well, this was actually a press briefing that was happened just yesterday by Zafar Mirza on COVID-19. Zafar Mirza is basically National Health Minister. So he was doing that press conference. So probably you have seen there were 3 people sitting in that conference, and all the participants who were in that conference, they were giving different type of information. The army guy was giving different type of information about the relief efforts. Dr. Zafar Mirza was giving different kind of information, while Dr. Moeed was giving different kind of information. So as a reporter, what you have to do, you have to prepare your questions beforehand, which you're going to ask them at the end of their session. And you have to consume that information because that is a massive kind of information, and you have to recognize that which piece of information is important and which piece of information will make part of your story, because they were speaking like 20-30 minutes. You cannot write each and every word, so you have to decide that this information is important for the public or for your readers to know, and this information is not important for your readers and your listeners or your viewers important to know. So this is very important because mostly conferences are very long. Press briefings are very long, like 30 minutes to 1 hour. So what you have to do, you have to decide on the mass of that information you get from participant of that particular conference or press briefing. So that is it for today. Next time we'll meet, we'll talk about profile interviewing, how to conduct a profile interview. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Allah Hafiz.